everyone, for joining us again for FOCO Talks. My name is Laura Stewart, and I'm the Vice President of Community Development at the Forsyth County Chamber of Commerce. And we're pulling double duty today on FOCO Talks. We've been out enjoying some of the wonderful quality of life that we can enjoy in Forsyth County at the Chamber's annual golf tournament. But we're also going to cover something that impacts every resident of Forsyth County and has a huge impact on our roads, our parks, and our public safety, and really overall quality of life for our community. There are a number of referendums on the ballot this fall, but the one we will focus on today is the Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax, or Splost for short. We are going to take a deep dive into Splost and its impact on the future of Forsyth County. I'm joined today by Jan Rooney. Jan owns a state farm agency. She is a longtime resident of Forsyth County, and she has stepped forward to chair the committee to get Splost approved on the referendum in November. Jan, thank you for your leadership, and thanks for joining us today.
Oh, I'm happy to be here. Thanks so much. And I just love that we're doing on the day that we did the golf tournament, and you couldn't ask for a better weather, and I'm happy to be here and champion this worthy cause.
Well, let's start with just some of the basics. What is Splost?
Well, Laura, that is a great question because Splost, that is a little bit of a mouthful. And so Splost stands for Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax. And this is a 1-cent sales tax which the state of Georgia allows counties to collect to fund special improvement projects. The 1-cent sales tax must be approved by voters and last for 6 years. Unless voters decide to renew it, then the sales tax will go for another 6 years.
And Splost is not a new tax for Forsyth County. How long has Forsyth County had the 1-cent sales tax?
Well, Forsyth County has had this Splost in place since 1987, and they have been renewed 8 times. Splost 9 is on the ballot in November, and Forsyth County voters are being asked to consider renewing the 1-cent sales tax again.
And what are some of the things that Splost has paid for in the past?
Well, because we've had Splost since 1987, there just are way too many that we would have to list, or we'd just be here all day. But some of the recent notable projects that I think people will know about is like the new exit on Exit 18. So that really has helped the flow of traffic if you live a little bit north in the county. Then the old Atlanta Highway, McGinnis Ferry Road widening, which I've heard people say that has taken years off my life of sitting in traffic. Ronald Reagan Boulevard extension is another one. You know, a fun one for me is the Coal Mountain Dog Park. Midway Park improvements, I think the kids really enjoy playing out there. Big Creek Greenway expansion, the fire stations 9 and 15, the new sheriff's office and fire department vehicles, and the new Denmark Library. And then also our Senior Services Central Park facility, which if you love pickleball, that's a great place to go.
Pickleball, golf, we're doing it all today, Jan.
All of it.
I think so. Those are some great examples. But Forsyth County residents are paying more in taxes than ever, with assessments being higher and folks still feeling the pinch of inflation. Why should voters in Forsyth County vote to renew Splost?
As a Forsyth County residents, that we all would share some basic priorities. I think we all agree that we want to live in a safe community. I think that we want to live in a community where you're not spending big segments of your personal time sitting in traffic. We want great roads that are safe and also accommodate the traffic. But then also we want to have great parks and recreation facilities. We're ranked the healthiest county in Georgia year after year. And a big part of that is that we have the Greenway and some of the best parks in the nation. Building roads and parks and all these things that our public safety officers need to make this community what we want and need it to be is expensive. And a sales tax dedicated to pay for those things has a strong track record of being the best way to do that. One thing that I think is really important to highlight is that visitors, non-residents, pay 34% of Splost. So that means if we didn't have Splost, the homeowners and the business owners and any property taxpayer would be paying for that infrastructure. And we want and need exclusively with property taxes. Or we just won't have some of those things that I think all of us believe are a value part of how we live here and should prioritize.
I think those are great points, Jan. But let's flip that around for a minute. Why would someone be opposed to voting for Splost?
While Splost 9 is not a new tax, it is a tax. And some people just philosophically, I think, are opposed to any and every tax. This is one of the few taxes that we get to vote on, and they will take the opportunity to oppose it. I can understand that, but I think that thought is incomplete. I'm a property taxpayer, and every homeowner and business owner in Forsyth County are taxpayers. I don't want my property taxes to go up to pay for roads we need, the parks we all want, and the capital projects that help keep our county safe. Impact fees help contribute to transportation and public safety projects, but impact fees are never going to generate the amount of money needed. So that leaves us with paying for it by property taxes or Splost. And I would much rather use the sales tax dollars that everyone pays into. I guess I'd also add that when it comes to Splost, Forsyth County government and the city of Cumming, they have a strong track record since 1987 for doing what they promised to do and build the projects that the voters approved.
And how were the projects for Splost decided?
They are hosted all over the county to have the community come in and look at projects and provide feedback. And there are 3 left. So one is October 1st at the Settles Bridge Elementary School. Another is October 7th at Hampton Park Library. And the last one will be October 14th at Big Creek Elementary School. All 3 get started at 6 and run until 7:30 p.m. Forsyth County also has a great website where you can review what Splost will fund and how the funds are proposed to be used. Forsyth County also has a great website where you can review what Splost will fund and how the funds are proposed to be used. You should definitely take a look at that. The web address is www.forsythco.com/Splost. If you cannot attend one of those open houses, you can see all the material the county is providing at the open house at the bottom of the Splost site. You can also take the survey about Splost 9 and provide your input.
So, Jan, I have to ask, taking on chairing the committee to get Splost passed is no small thing. It's one thing to be an advocate and vote in favor of it, but it is another thing to lead the effort to get it passed. Why is this so important to you?
Well, for me, I think those of you who know me, I'm a pretty passionate person, and I think I have a big investment in the future of this county. I love Forsyth County. My husband and I plan to retire in this county. I want to see it continue to prosper and be a community that sells itself. Splost pays for important road improvements, gives tools to our sheriff and fire department to keep us safe, and pays for parks and the Greenway. It also pays for things we take for granted, like the latest technology for clean water and sewer facilities. None of that is paid with property taxes. It's paid with the sales tax. And 34% of the people paying are not residents of the county. I feel strongly about this, and I see this as a real investment in my own future and the future of my neighbors and friends.
And there is a great deal more flexibility to vote than any time in the past. What do people need to know about the upcoming election?
Yeah, well, if you're new to Forsyth County or if you have not registered to vote yet, the deadline to register to vote is October 7th. I strongly encourage you to do that. You can register to vote either at the Forsyth County Voter Registrations and Elections Office or on the Secretary of State's website. Early voting does start October 15th and ends November 1st. And you can vote early in Forsyth County at the Forsyth County Voter Registrations and Elections Office, also the Hampton Park Library. You can go to Midway Park Community Building. It's Sharon Springs Park Community Building, if I remember that correctly. Early voting hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can also vote early on Saturday, October 20th, and the 26th from 8 a.m. to 5, and on Sunday, October 20th, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Election Day is November 5th. If you plan to vote on Election Day, please visit the Forsyth County Voter Registration and Elections Office website to confirm your voting precinct and location, because that will be different. But all those other ones, if you do early voting, are open.
Thanks, Jan. That's really important information for everyone to know, especially as we head into just a busy fall season overall. Well, we've covered a lot today on Splost. Anything else that you want to add, Jan?
I just encourage people, don't let this be something that you vote no to. Vote yes to it. A vote yes for the Splost is going to help with property taxes. A vote no for Splost just means you're going to increase your property taxes. So please vote yes for Splost.
Thanks, Jan, and thanks everyone for tuning in. Continue to check out the FOCO Talks podcast as we talk about topics that are pertinent to our business community and to all Forsyth County residents. We'll see you next time.